Hello and welcome. Ready yourself for 30 thrilling challenges designed to inspire your thinking. What does it mean if a substance is soluble? It can be frozen. It can be dissolved in a liquid. It can be burned. The correct answer is, it can be dissolved in a liquid. Fun fact, a soluble substance like sugar can be dissolved in a liquid like water. What do we call the substance that dissolves in a liquid? The solvent. The solute. The solution. The correct answer is, the solute. Here's something cool, the solute is the substance that gets dissolved. What do we call the liquid that a substance dissolves in? The solvent. The solute. The solution. The correct answer is, the solvent. Did you know? The solvent is the liquid that does the dissolving. What is the name for the mixture when a solute dissolves in a solvent? A solid. A solution. A compound. The correct answer is, a solution. Knowledge boost, a solution is a mixture where a solute has dissolved in a solvent. Which of these is a good way to separate sand from water? Evaporation. Filtering. Melting. The correct answer is, filtering. A quick fact for you, filtering separates an undissolved solid from a liquid. At what temperature does water typically boil and turn into steam? 0 degrees Celsius. 50 degrees Celsius. 100 degrees Celsius. The correct answer is, 100 degrees Celsius. Here's something cool, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius at sea level. What is the freezing point of water? 100 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius. -10 degrees Celsius. The correct answer is, 0 degrees Celsius. Knowledge boost, water freezes and becomes ice at 0 degrees Celsius. What is the difference between a high pitch and a low pitch sound? Volume. Frequency. Speed. The correct answer is, frequency. Here's something cool, high-pitched sounds have a higher frequency while low-pitched sounds have a lower frequency. Which of these would make a sound with a low pitch? A small drum. A large drum. A whistle. The correct answer is, a large drum. Surprising trivia, a large drum creates a low-pitched sound with its slow vibrations. What does a switch do in an electric circuit? It powers the circuit. It opens or closes the circuit. It makes a sound. The correct answer is, it opens or closes the circuit. Fun fact, a switch is a component used to complete or break a circuit allowing or stopping electricity. What is the name for the path that electricity follows in a circuit? A wire. A bulb. A circuit. The correct answer is, a circuit. Here's something cool, an electric circuit is a complete path that electricity can flow through. Which of these materials is a good conductor of electricity? Rubber. Plastic. Copper. The correct answer is, copper. A quick fact for you, copper lets electricity pass through it easily, which is why it is used in wires. Which animal has adapted to live in very cold environments? A polar bear. A camel. A monkey. The correct answer is, a polar bear. Here's a nugget of wisdom, polar bears have a thick layer of fat and fur to keep them warm in the Arctic. What is an adaptation? A change in an animal that helps it survive. A change in an animal that makes it pretty. A change in an animal that makes it bigger. The correct answer is, a change in an animal that helps it survive. Here's an interesting fact, an adaptation is a feature that helps a living thing survive in its habitat. How do humans impact animal habitats in a negative way? Planting trees. Polluting the water. Building parks. The correct answer is, polluting the water. Here's a nugget of wisdom, polluting the water can harm or destroy the habitats of many aquatic animals. What is the main way to reduce plastic waste in the environment? Throw it in the ocean. Reuse and recycle plastic items. Burn plastic waste. The correct answer is, reuse and recycle plastic items. Knowledge boost, reusing and recycling plastic helps reduce the amount of waste in the environment. What is the name for the gas we breathe in to live? Carbon dioxide. Oxygen. Helium. The correct answer is, oxygen. Here's an interesting fact, our bodies need oxygen from the air to survive and function. Which animal has a special adaptation to survive in the desert? A camel. A penguin. A whale. The correct answer is, a camel. Did you know? A camel's hump stores fat which it can use for energy and water. Which of these would be a good insulator of sound? A brick wall. A thin window. A hollow pipe. The correct answer is, a brick wall. Surprising trivia, a thick dense material like a brick wall is a good sound insulator. How is pitch different from volume? Pitch is how loud or quiet a sound is. Pitch is how high or low a sound is. Pitch is how fast sound travels. The correct answer is, pitch is how high or low a sound is. A quick fact for you, pitch is the highness or lowness of a sound while volume is the loudness. What is a simple way to increase the volume of a sound? Move away from the source. Hit a drum harder. Talk more quietly. The correct answer is, hit a drum harder. Here's an interesting fact, hitting a drum harder creates larger vibrations and a louder sound. What happens to the particles of a substance when it turns from a liquid to a solid? They get closer and stop moving. They spread out and move faster. They disappear. The correct answer is, they get closer and stop moving. A quick fact for you, when a substance freezes, its particles pack together tightly and stop moving around. What do we call the process of water being cleaned by passing it through a filter? Boiling. Filtering. Freezing. The correct answer is, filtering. Knowledge boost, filtering is a process used to separate impurities from water. What is a simple way to slow down the speed of evaporation? Put a lid on a pot of water. Put a pot of water in the sun. Heat a pot of water on the stove. The correct answer is, put a lid on a pot of water. Surprising trivia, covering a pot of water prevents the water vapor from escaping, slowing down evaporation. What is the main job of a wire in an electric circuit? To store energy. To be a path for electricity. To make light. The correct answer is, to be a path for electricity. Surprising trivia, wires provide the path for electricity to flow from one component to another. What is the purpose of the lungs in the human body? To pump blood. To breathe and exchange gases. To digest food. The correct answer is, to breathe and exchange gases. Fun fact, lungs are used to take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Which of these animals would be a producer in a food chain? A plant. An eagle. A squirrel. The correct answer is, a plant. Here's something cool, a plant is a producer because it creates its own food using energy from the sun. How do we classify animals that eat only plants? Herbivores. Omnivores. Carnivores. The correct answer is, herbivores. A quick fact for you, herbivores are a group of animals that get all their energy from eating plants. What does it mean if a substance is insoluble? It can be frozen. It can be dissolved. It cannot be dissolved in a liquid. The correct answer is, it cannot be dissolved in a liquid. Here's an interesting fact: an insoluble substance like sand will not dissolve in water. What is the effect of pollution on marine life? It helps them grow. It can harm their habitats and health. It makes their water cleaner. The correct answer is, it can harm their habitats and health. Let's learn something new. Pollution like plastic waste and oil spills can cause serious harm to marine life. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Stay tuned for more exciting content, and we'll catch you in the next one.